You know, people tell me that this is literally the worst. This is like Dragon Maze 2.0. No, I'm serious. That's what literally people tell me. That, I mean, this is the this is the thing that's gonna wreck you financially, has no value. Well, I got like this video, one more Theros, and it gives us opportunity to kind of spread them out, talk about the product, keep an eye on things. So this video is brought to me by my patron, Matthew, Mr. Matt S. And Matt says, "You already, I like the Theros, and I know you've been talking about it, and I like to kind of still do some of these box openings, because I mean, Theros is such a weird, like, it is the least selling standard product out of all of them. I'm telling you, the collector box is the weakest out of all of them. But you know, the product is really, I mean, you even got the Pokemon lands. Everybody likes the Pokemon. I mean, they're all double too. And of course, you've got yourself Mr. Ancillary Slot. I'm assuming is it kind of, yeah, no, something like that, or just a mythic. I don't know. Does this one have an ancillary? I don't even remember. I get so many products confused at this point. Holy smokes! Well, pack one. Holy crap! Right out of the gate, pack one. I was gonna talk about the infamous Elder Giants. Well, it's no Oreo, but wow. Okay, so Mythic number 1 in pack 1. That was what everybody complains about, is how difficult it is to get the flippin' Elder Giants. Like, it's flippin' ridiculous compared to every other Mythic. Like, Theros is a set about God cards, but everybody wants Elder Giants, which are like 10 times more difficult to get versus the God cards. Are we tracking Mythics? I guess we're going to track Mythics. I wasn't sure if we were going to do that. Holy crap. And here we go. We got the Ancient. I just realized that. We got, for Mythic number 3, we got, and nothing. We got Dream Trawler. So there's a lot of regular rares. There's a lot of cards in this that are just very speculative. I think it's the best, honestly, it's the best way to say it. They're just speculative. Seriously. And Harpy. Yeah, it's so weird to get a flipping common like that. Really? Really? Okay. And the rare version of the Harpy, and the foil rare for Intervention, coming through with a, that's still, like, if I was Wizards, I would make sure I prevented situations where you get duplicate cards back to back. That just grinds my gears, you know? It really does bother me. But no, seriously. You know, so I want to talk about the overall product here. I still think it looks really cool. I still just think the cards look great. And, you know, I don't know how I don't know. Sculptor of Fears for Mythic number 4. Intervention, Rudy's ex-girlfriend, and Elspeth, and that's it. So here's the thing. Based on where we're at in 2020, there's so many products. There's going to be products left behind. There's going to be products that are going to be cheap. There's going to be products that are going to be below market value for long periods of times that are going to breed a lot of long-term opportunity. That's just kind of where we're at in the world. And Box Topper, Storm Herald. I think it's really cool. I love that lightning behind him. Looks pretty sweet. Pretty spiffy, as they used to say back in the 60s. Pretty spiffy. But the overall thing is, you know, when you have products like, people ask me, you know, it's funny because I get more questions on Theros collectors boxes than I do on probably any newer Magic product. Honestly, Overthrown, Ikoria, just, you know, War of the Spark, the core sets. I think this is the one I get by far the most questions on. Look at that. We got a Heliod Sun Crown, foil mythic hiding back there with Constellation. It's by far the most commonly asked product. I get, Rudy, this is so cheap. There seems to be endless amounts of supply. What do you think, Rudy? This Theros thing, should I buy, invest? Ooh, I still love that tutor. I forgot about that. Good old Incarnation, very nice. And that is it. I get the question of just, you know, should we be investing? Should we be holding a position of Theros? And, you know, I'm on the fence, but, you know, it's so flippin' cheap. Like, my goodness, you compare the Theros collector boxes, Will Smith the Genie, and, I mean, you got the Elder Giants, you got a lot of cool cards, and I love Shadows here. It's my favorite artifact in the set. Elspeth Sun Nemesis for the showcase framing. Look at this. Look at this flippin' ridiculousness. Erebos Black-Hearted. Look at that double mythic there. It's really tough for me to just give everybody a blanket, like, this is a bad product, don't park your money in it long term. Because I tell you what, you're getting this product so cheap. You can go on eBay right now, what? With taxes and shipping, you pay, what, 180s, 190s for a box, maybe? Maybe 190, I guess, once you factor in all the shipping and taxes. I mean, still, even 190 a box. Ooh, Shadow of the Sky. Nice little showcase, little box topper. We got Keen-Eyed for Mythic. And just one Mythic, just one. Thought there was a second one there. And I have a hard time saying that, you know, in a couple years, when this thing's out of print, are these collector boxes really going to be below $200 a box? Like, that's the overall question you got to ask yourself. Because I really strongly feel like the answer to that is pretty firmly no. Like, I just don't see how some of this stuff can just stay that cheap. Just as supply drops every single day from natural attrition, pack cracking, lost in the mail, damage, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, there's no more coming. It's out of print, the collector boxes. Still trying to figure out what balls are for in this world. Anybody help me out? Rudy's balls, hashtag. Hound of Theros. And Deep Dwelling for another mythic constellation. So that's kind of the generic, when I step back, instead of trying to ask, well, you know, I get these messages where a lot of people ask, like, well, Rudy, you know, I don't know, the expected value's low. They're reprinting everything. I don't think there's good opportunity. Still looking at balls. I do that on Saturdays. And, you know, at the end of the day, I tell them the same thing. It's not always about the cards in the set. 3, 6, nice little stable 9 mythic opening. Yeah, I'm serious, everybody. It's really, it's not just about the cards in the set in these things. Long term, you know, the older products get, the cards in the set, we've talked about this a million times in this YouTube channel. The cards in the box matter less and less as the years gain more and more. It's an inverse teeter-totter relationship. I feel like that should be a whiteboard video. I haven't been doing many whiteboards because people just don't watch them. Nightmare Shepherd and Gods of Destiny. Look at that. So mythic number 1. I feel like if you guys picture a teeter-totter, and you start off the teeter-totter where one side's all the way on the ground and one side's all the way in the air. The side all the way in the air is the supply. Okay? And as time goes on, as that teeter-totter drops and that supply goes down, the other side of the teeter-totter naturally goes up in price, no matter what the cards in the box do. And that's the toughest thing for people to accept. Why is a product going up when the cards in the box aren't going up? Seriously. That drives people insane in the Magic world. Rudy, why is a box of Urza's Legacy $2,000 when you can only get $400 on average in a box? Well, it's called the supply and demand. You're not supposed to be able to open a box and make money. That would be called arbitrage. And then the box price would have to adjust higher until arbitrage comes to an end. It's just, you know, it's always, that conversation's so stale to me. It's so old school. But that's, you know, and I feel like Theros is going to be a really, really good example of this. We have so many products in 2020. That's crazy. You guys see that? 2 Rudy X's in one video? That's creepy, isn't it? There's going to be products left behind in 2020. There's no way around it, everybody. There's just so many things out there. There's no way for everything to be successful and be properly absorbed. And with the endless train of products coming, there's going to be products that get just left behind. People they're going to pick products they prefer. And right now, nobody prefers Theros. So that's where we're at. And, you know, I still don't think it's a dumpster fire. I really don't. This is not a dumpster fire product, honestly. Beautiful looking champion. And we got the old Sun's Grace. Beautiful, beautiful looking Archon there. And Elspeth and Blessed by Sun. Nothing hiding there. So, honestly, so far, Matthew, what do you think? Your first box was pretty stunning, man. Flipping right out of the gate, man. Elder Giant Foil Mythic kind of really set the tone of that first box. That was pretty spicy, man. And box 2 is a little weaker. Box 1 was a lot nicer. Allure. Elspeth Conquers Death. I love that artwork there. Those things are always cool. Those Saga cards. I know it was like a newer invention thing. I know like Richard Garfield was involved with that with Dominaria, where they invented that whole Saga type thing where you kind of go through the story. It's just, I don't know, really, really cool thing. Here we go. Another little Zombie Hydra action, a little Unchained. I haven't seen you in a while. It's a little tougher to get. Storm Herald. That was one of our box toppers in the first box. Well, we're down to the last couple packs here. That's kind of the biggest thing I wanted to say here. We'll have a little talk before I end the video also here. But I really think Theros is just, it's the stepchild getting left behind. And I just don't think it's really that bad and deserves the negativity surrounding it. Because, I don't know, maybe it's just the name at this point. Like, people think Theros and everyone just goes, oh goodness, another Theros. And even then, even with my patrons and box buying, I have to admit, Theros is the least selling standard product. Oh, baby. Zombie Hydra again. Foil Mythic. There you go. Holy smokes. Okay. So this is actually one, I mean, honestly, this video, we have the least amount of God cards and actually a ton of, this is a very, really another Sculptor of Fears? This is definitely more of an anomaly video. Another flipping Harpy, really. Usually we don't get them that, I don't know. Usually we get less of the Elder Giants and weird things and more of the God variants, right? So it's kind of weird to see this first time we get a video where it's kind of like backwards. So anyway, let's open this last pack. And I just want to talk about everything before we end the video. I want to give everybody my final thoughts, since I know at this point in time there's only like 1% of the viewers even still listening, especially on a Theros video. Oh, there we go. Look at that deep dwelling in the close. So, I mean, personally, I have like 650 or 660, whatever even number of cases of Theros collector boxes. I kept a very significant amount. Mostly because actually after I sold out originally to the patrons and locally, this one I actually had a couple people locally before the stupid shutdown 2020 crap. Had a couple local whales from Orlando area that I met, and they actually bought like 120 collector boxes of Theros each, and 2 people did this from me, and they kept quite a bit. And then actually what ended up happening is, I can't mention them because everyone's going to know who they are. One of the very large stores online that you all know who they are. I don't want to legally disclose the name, but they wanted to raise capital in early 2020 for when a lot of these new products were coming, specifically Ikoria and Double Masters was announced and all that fun crap. And they unloaded 500 to 600 Theros collector boxes on me. And I took them all. Because simply put, I wanted the position for longer term. And I felt the opportunity was there, especially because they needed the money. It was a cheap discounted agreement. And honestly, I don't think this is that bad of a product. At the end of the day, I just don't think this is a really bad product. I think it's just the name of the product and the timing of 2020 being sandwiched between a bunch of really good products. This product's still good, but it's not really good. So by comparison, it looks bad by just relative to the other things around it. Kind of like what happened to Eldritch Moon in between like the Zendikars and the Shadows of Innistrad and the Kaladesh. You know, there's certain sets that got squished between other things in master sets back then. And I think this is a great example. And I just think, I do believe there is opportunity in these sealed Theros products, but it's going to take a while. This is not going to be a home run product where these Theros collector boxes are going to be $500. I don't see that happening. But I do believe in 12 months from now, that's it, just 12 months. I'm talking holidays of 2021. I do think Theros collector boxes will probably be around the 250 range. And I think in 2 to 3 years, they'll probably be around, I'd say probably around 300 range. I'd say 290 to 320. So again, we're talking about a significant return compared to if you went on the open market and bought them now. But we're not talking, you know, major, become multi-millionaire and, you know, charge people $10,000 an hour, drive around Rolls Royces and 14 cars here in my garage. You know, none of that goofy crap. But I do think there's real opportunity in this product. So, and I think very, very few people are going to hold on to this. And I think at this point in time, even in August of 2020, I mean, how many people do you guys know that are like, oh, Rudy, I'm going to sit on Theros collectors? It's very, very low. And I think that alone gets my attention. So hope you guys appreciate the little kind of story time. I've got all these millions of little stories and things that happen daily and in the cardboard life. So I like to share a little of them randomly at the end of videos and parts where I know only certain people usually catch this stuff. So that's about it. Other than that, have a great day and be safe out there. And as always, remember, make sure you're enjoying magic. If you're not enjoying magic, you're doing something wrong.